Right. So, hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Bimal Master. I'm the National Chief Mentor for IMS. And I welcome you to this special webinar titled Digital Marketing and E-Business. This webinar is part of an initiative by IMS called Management Masterclass, a sneak peek into the management pedagogy. This initiative, as I'm sure you know by now, is a result of our constant endeavor to impart and enhance our students' knowledge. We have conceptualized these sessions so that students get first-hand experience in B-School pedagogy by expert faculty members on different subjects being offered in an MBA course. It's very similar to attending an introductory B-School session on the given topic. It will help you get a gist of important subjects and be equipped in making better selections for your MBA courses. So let me talk a little bit about the topic for today. Over the past few years, digital marketing or e-business, right, is an industry that has tremendously grown and has provided support to various people. The ever-evolving technology is enhancing the services, making it easier to reach the target audience with innovative and new services, basically making life easier for us. In 2020 and 2021, right, the scope of digital marketing has seen a drastic level of growth, right? Of course, fueled by the pandemic. But despite the pandemic affecting our life in practically all ways for these 2 years consecutively, the growth in the digital space has been strong and tremendously amazing. In 2022, it is projected to take on an even higher leap. By the next year, the number of active Indian internet users is expected to grow up to almost 666 million and higher than 5.3 billion on a global level. So for today's session, the key takeaways are going to be, firstly, an industry insight into e-business and digital marketing. Second, career opportunities for students in this field. Third, opportunities for professional learning and growth. And fourth, macro and micro insights on the policy and industry growth opportunities. So to throw more light on this exciting subject and to present their perspectives on the topic, I'm pleased to invite our three special guests for today. Firstly, Mr. Shubhabroto Chakraborty, the founder, Chief Digital Consultant at the Digital Fellow. Second, Mr. Surya Mishra, the Chairperson, Placement and Industry Engagement at KIIT School of Management. And of course, Dr. Anil Bajpai, the CEO at Prestige Education Foundation. Mr. Shubhabroto, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Yes, Shubho is good.
Okay, Shubho is good. Oh, wonderful. Right. So Mr. Shubho calls himself a student of digital marketing for the past 27 plus years and a growth hacker. Having cross-industry experience, he has successfully launched, managed, and advised more than 120 top national and international brands in IT, media, TV, FMCG, durables, agro, pharma, hospitality, service, manufacturing, fashion, lifestyle, luxury, telecom, and a variety of other industries. Mr. Surya is the Faculty of Marketing at KIIT School of Management. He has been teaching digital marketing and entrepreneurship at KSOM for the last 10 years. Mr. Surya has worked across academic, administration functions, and education management for the last 10 years, spanning program management, curriculum creation, new program design and launch, placements, internships, alumni relations, branding and marketing, admissions, strategy, and hiring functions. Mr. Surya has co-founded the Unmukt Foundation, an NGO dedicated to the twin causes of education for underprivileged children and protecting the environment. Coming to Dr. Bajpai, over the last 12 years, he's been associated with the telecom sector in various functions. However, his personal achievement is his work in project management. He has had a very enriching and rewarding corporate career spanning two important sectors, semiconductors and telecom. In his capacity as the business head of a big telecom network, he initiated from scratch a rollout of both network infrastructure as well as sales and distribution infrastructure for several operations in 7 states of India. His personal strength is the ability to communicate and mentor or coach his colleagues on subjects spanning the entire plethora of telecom and human interface. Now, let me give you a quick introduction to the institute that they represent. Established in 1994, Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Indore, is an autonomous institute. The institute has been accredited consecutively twice with grade A by the NAC. It is affiliated to Devi Ahilya University. It has been ranked 68 by Business Today, 58 by Outlook India, and 41 by The Week. So it is wonderful to have you all with us today, sirs. Welcome to this session.
Thank you, Bimal.
for those glowing words. Sometimes it appears you're talking about somebody else. Never mind. So a very, very good afternoon, stroke evening to all the attendees, students who may be wanting to make careers in the corporate world, in the education world, in the academic world, and wherever else you want to be. You want to be an entrepreneur. The next 40 odd minutes, the three of us over here are going to battle out. When I say battle out, because I know both of these gentlemen for a very long time now, and therefore it will make more sense for you to listen very carefully to the various aspects of e-business, the aspects of what's happening across the world today, how the pandemic, these last 2 years, have changed the way people lived and ordered even mundane stuff like food. I mean, whoever heard of food being delivered to your home, ready-made from 5 different locations within 30 minutes of your ordering? I mean, that is the kind of things that digital electronics has made possible. People forget this. But I keep reminding, because I was part of that revolution, which started 22 years ago, that revolution called telecom. I was part of that big thing, which today is something that you take as a postulate, not even as a theorem. You don't want to prove it. It's just given. If you didn't have network, you'd say, I don't want to live here. If you didn't have power, you'd say, I don't want to live here. Next world war will be fought on power and network. So it's terabytes and terabytes and gigabytes and everything, which has led to this brilliant concept of global e-business. And when I say global, it's across the world. So friends and young boys and girls, please understand that here we are talking about a complete different vertical, which was non-existent a few years ago. Whoever knew about what is going to be, the closest you had to be, kind of associated with a shopping area was a mall, prior to which we only knew about pop and mom stores and the kirana stores next to our homes. Will that vanish? No, they will not vanish. The stores will exist, the pop and mom stores will exist, the kirana lalas will exist, the malls will exist, but they will be aided by one major umbrella, which will connect all of these to the customer, and that will be the e-business. The various platforms which will connect customers to producers, to suppliers, to the entire logistics chain will get connected automatically through networking. And that's where, and believe me, there's one adage in the marketing world that all of us have followed ever since Mahatma Gandhi in the year 1891 or so had said, the customer is the most important person on our premises. We are there because of him, and we cease to exist if he ceases to exist. So we've all followed, and the three of us over here are living examples of this adage, which we've lived through. Customer is king, and therefore we must always follow the customer wherever he goes. And towards which I would now ask my friend and colleague from a long time, Shubhobrato, we will call him Shubho for convenience. He is the digital guy. He's the digital guy, and he will explain to you what change that marketing has seen over the last years, over the last, say, maybe 15 years. And he's been a part of that change. He's created that change, and he's going to share his views about digital marketing, which of course is a major component of e-business, which after Shubho's deliberations, you will hear Surya Mishra, Professor Surya Mishra, who has, like I said a while ago, He's been breathing digital marketing. He's been sleeping. He's been eating. He's been drinking digital marketing and social media marketing, which will attract the attention of a lot of you youngsters. He actually develops modules which feature on the Instagrams, the Facebooks, and whatever else, the Twitter handles, on how to grow your businesses through these social platforms.
So what I see in the last 15 or 20 years time, I see a major change happen across the world, including India. Now, what happened 15 years back when a 50-year-old or a 45 or maybe a 45-old CEO used to come home and used to shout at his or her son and daughter, saying that you're wasting your time on Facebook. Instagram is rubbish. You're wasting your time on Instagram. You're making Instagram posting is by no means is not going to help us anyway. You're wasting your time. At the same time, exactly after 5 or 10 years, right after that, the same 40-year-old guy is hiring a 20-year-old kid and asking, can you help my Instagram? Can you help to build my corporate Facebook page? And so on and so forth. So I see a huge change happening in the digital world. Number one. Number two, since I've been consulting across all different medium, all different organizations, different industries, and recently, for the last, I think, 6 months, I've been also brand auditing 50 industries, around 800 brands in India. So I have a huge length and breadth of information based on which I'm talking right now. So I'm not talking based on my 27 years experience. I'm talking about this auditing this 800 brands for the last 6 months. So this recent study I've been posting regularly on LinkedIn. So I invite all the students to come and read this and download. It's a free download. You can download my report. You will see most of India, 45 industry took a dip, or they also got shut down when COVID hits India. So most of these India brands are big brands. So what I did, I picked up the top 10, 20 brands from each category, and I did a brand health check of these industries. I saw there's one common factor. 85 to 90% of the Indian ecosystem don't understand digital marketing, number one. Since there's a huge demand, there's a huge demand, there's a less of supply. So I see lots of fake digital marketer, self-proclaimed digital marketer, or so-called, unskilled digital people are coming to build and make money out of this business. So that's the time we saw during the COVID, we saw people are teaching Facebook with 200 rupees. People are teaching Instagram at 199. People are teaching LinkedIn marketing at 400. So this was going on for the last 2 years because everybody wanted to make money out of this demand. So another piece of advice which I want to give it to all the students here right now, please understand, you will not be able to survive on the digital world if your basic fundamental of marketing is weak. Digital is just a plethora, it's just a platform. So the most important part is the knowledge of marketing. If you're weak in marketing, if you don't you have a very less understanding of branding, if you are not following different modules and diagrams of how the marketing works, digital will not help you. Please understand, this subscription actually means nothing. Most dislikes, subscription, how much of engagement. If you ask someone, and that's the reason a lot of fake subscribers started coming in. If you pay 1,000 rupees, you can get 5,000 followers. So most of these followers are all robotic. They're not human. This all happens from Thailand and Malaysia. They are called farmware. So this is where all the fake people come. So they're actually not human beings. Now most people think that if I have more followers, if I have no subscription, my life is done. Absolutely no. Subscriber or follower chasing these things doesn't make you a hero out of digital. Digital marketing is if you have only 500 followers, only 500 follower on LinkedIn, and in this 500 follower are giving you business worth rupees few thousand lakhs crore whatever, then it makes sense. So don't chase Don't try to treat digital as a a magic stick by which you can change the world. If you are weak in marketing, all decision, all strategy will not work. Now coming back to what I saw in this last 15-20 years, younger people have become much lazy, because I used to think that younger people are smarter. Based on my 60 business school, and I've been teaching in IIM Indore, Kashipur for the last 6 years. So I reached an IIT Kharagpur. So talking from the top to the below level across genres of business school, I've spoken, I've met, I've interacted more than few lakhs of students. I see most of the younger people, they think they want to achieve things very easily, so they are very, very lazy. People who are listening to my conversation might find it little offensive and not, you may not like it. But this is a fact. If you are lazy, God help you, you will can't do anything in digital, by the way. Okay. So learning becomes an essential part of digital. By the way, that's the reason my bio says I'm a still digital, I'm a student of digital. Every day, if you're not learning, you cannot survive in digital world, because the very simple reason, in the 3 months or within 4 to 5 weeks, the algorithm keeps on changing. So if you see, I don't know, many of you may not know, because Facebook marketing have changed the algorithm. So all the Facebook campaign which is running for the last 6 months, the cost have gone very high. So, and Facebook don't give you a brand manual. Facebook don't come with a blog, or Facebook don't come with a notice that I'm changing my algorithm. So if you are not good, another thing has happened. After the launch of iPhone 14, all the privacy policy have changed. So in all access, social media, be it Facebook, be it Instagram, you will not able to target, as in terms of personal thing, because most data get filtered. You will not able to reach us. So you have to understand how you can still do that with the help of intent. Now, intent to do that, you need to do a lot of understanding called persona. In India, most digital marketers, I've been meeting, obviously, I speak in many conferences in Bombay, Madras, Bangalore, across all the city. Now, I see here that digital is still, 1% of the ecosystem is understanding and managing digital. Who are these 1%? Is like the Hindustan Levers and the ITCs of the world, who are data rich. When I say rich, they are knowledgeably rich. Second is a data ignorant, or people who understand digital but they don't know much of it. They're hiring small time digital people to manage their system. And the last below of the belt of ecosystem is called digital poor, which means neither they have money nor they have any digital mindset. Please understand, all my friends, whoever is listening to this of my talk, is digital comes very later stage. Most important stage is a digital mindset. Most of the organization I come across, they are not digitally, they are not, they are digitally challenged. They don't understand. Most of the CEOs and the CXOs of the country, because 120 right now is an old number. It has crossed more than 170 as of now. Consulting advisors have done, made people, CEOs have trained people, CEO advisors. I see most of the CXOs or the CEOs in this country have forgotten their password. They don't use their Twitter. They don't use their LinkedIn. They only come, they don't use any Facebook. Once upon a time to use. So what is happening is that they are blaming digital because they cannot cope up with digital. To understand digital, you have to be a thorough student. It is very difficult to cope up with digital, because there is no book. If you go to any bookstore, you will not find a book on digital, because by the time digital book get printed and it goes to the shelf, 80% of the content has become, is obsolete. So we all, I think all of you must have known, because there's a book called Dummies for English, Dummies for IT, Dummies. So if you go and read, get that fat book of Dummies for Digital, if you go through it, you will find 60% of the content are all obsolete. So in this genre, when everything is going and changing so fast, because the algorithm is changing, customer behaviors are changing, pre and post COVID, the dramatic change. This change, if you really want to evolve, be a catalyst, you first to become a learner, number one. Number two, I've also seen people who are MBA who come from great big colleges. I don't want to name, because most people think MBA gives them an extra wing. They feel like a god. So please don't feel like a god. Please feel like a human being. And you have to be a student all your life. If you do that, then you will be able to survive. Because in digital, with limited knowledge, you will not be able to survive. Another biggest problem of digital is that digital is 1% theory and 90% or 99% is execution. So digital cannot be learned by reading or watching YouTube. It's like you're learning swimming on your bed by thinking that you're on a pond or river. It doesn't work like that. So digital is execution. If you cannot execute, because when you get hired, when you actually also have seen, in fact, I'm coming up with the reason I'm little worried is that when I consult all these people, I see most of the marketing departments are full of incompetent so-called digital marketer. They are not from digital marketer. They don't understand anything of digital. They only understand few jargons to get the job. So what I did recently, I'm coming up with a report in next. In fact, Arindam is working on the report with his team. This report is called The Rise of Fake Digital Marketing. So I actually went to LinkedIn and actually picked up 500 profiles in 4 category: junior, senior, CMOs. And actually I actually followed with the help of their name and pictures. Easily I can track them on their Twitter, LinkedIn, blog, article, YouTube. And one interim report, I can tell you, 85% of the digital so-called marketers in this country don't understand digital. They are not from digital. They have been cut, copy, pasting other people's profile on their LinkedIn to show that they are digital. And that is the dramatic problem happening when industry or HR also don't know how to test, what to ask. A CXO level guy also don't know how to hire a digital, how to ask question, because that guy know at least 20% more than this guy. So you can't ask questions. So based on that, when you hire such fake digital marketer, you actually putting a wrong man on the driver's seat. And that is the reason we are also finding a relationship that if a guy who has worked in a sales guy all his life, 17 years in sales, in just 1 year time, he did some Google AdWord examination. Now he is a digital expert. And if that guy is, imagine running a digital company, what is the health of the digital company?
And hats off to our Prime Minister who actually woke the country up towards digitalization. And Surya and I have had a lot of debate on whether the word is digitization or digitalization. And I'm sure we must now listen to Surya for some light on this. But before I throw any light on, before I ask Surya to get onto the conversation, let me just put in perspective, because most of the questions that are coming up on the panel are from students who want to create a career in digital marketing or in e-business. Well, the projected core digital sectors over the next 3 years by 2025 is going to be close to 500 billion US dollars. India is going to need 150,000 trained people for e-business. Of course, this will include even some of the blue-collared workers also. The kind of roles that you are expected to be doing once you are digitalization is relevant and knowledgeable will be people like product roles. You will have the IT consultant, not the core IT guy. You will have revenue and category roles. You will have project roles. You will have marketing roles, and you will have analytics roles. And for this, having recognized this, for those who are interested, you can contact me later. I can share what we have designed, and for the sake of benefiting both Shubhoda and Surya, I will share with them also the program outline that we've created, which will make it quite attractive to both the sides, the consumer side, that is the student, and the user side, that is the industry. So keep the consumer always in mind, keep the market in mind, and carry on ahead, as Surya always said while he is in a classroom. So Surya, all yours.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure listening to you, and also a pleasure listening to Subhada, as always. Nuggets of wisdom thrown all across. Thanks a lot for all of those statistics. I was planning on talking about some of them myself. The Indian ad industry is growing at around 10-11%, while the digital marketing industry is growing at close to 25%. So that is the kind of growth that this industry has. Of course, there are a lot of elements which are not desirable. A lot of people who do not understand digital marketing keep on doing digital marketing. Most of what we do in digital marketing today is basic processes without even fundamentals of marketing, like Subodha pointed out. And that is why there is this huge dearth of talent in this industry. And that is where you can create a career, because there's a huge opportunity there. Bear in mind a couple of things, that the diversity of opportunity in this industry is huge. When I say huge, I mean huge in terms of the breadth of opportunities. So there are so many divisions within digital marketing that need to be done. Most of us tend to think of digital marketing as a combination of social media marketing and some paid campaign. It is not like that. I mentioned in one of the answers to someone in the question and answer section uh, that you can look at content, SEO, web development, web analytics, paid campaigns, performance marketing, growth marketing, social media management, online reputation management, native advertising, native app advertising. There are so many newer things coming up. Every day there's a new thing. Every day there's an algorithm change, and you have to tweak yourself a little more, and you have to be ready for that. So within that diversity of roles, you have to find out what fits you the best, depending upon your aptitude and attitude. The skill sets required for content marketing, for example, are very different from SEO. If you are doing technical side of SEO, then you are doing an entirely different thing, which is closer to coding and web development. If you're doing web development, then that is closer to coding and very removed from content. If you're doing paid campaigns, then you are needing much more analytical skills to be successful at that. There is another diversity in the opportunities available in digital marketing, which is in the kind of career that you have, the kind of remuneration that you can have. Entry level jobs are as low as 10,000, 15,000 a month. Entry level jobs are also as high as 24 lakhs an annum. That's 2 lakhs a month. Entry level, because the kind of jobs and the kind of companies and the kind of roles that you'll get into at entry level in each of these is very, very different. The kind of skill sets required and the kind of talent that you need to portray is extremely different. If you get into one of the bigger companies, one of the FANG companies, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, you'll probably end up getting much higher. But if you are getting into plain vanilla startup in, let's say, a tier 2, tier 3 city, then you are aiming at probably 15, 20,000 a month. So the kind of career diversity is huge. Please examine yourself where you are going to play at. Not everybody will be able to play at the topmost level. Are you willing to build a career slowly and climb through the ladder to the top? Or are you that kind of talent which can start right at the top itself? That's a decision that you need to take, and hence the kind of struggle that you will have is very different. I'll just take another moment to kind of answer a question in the question and answer, and also pick up the thread from Dr. Bajpayee. MBA in digital marketing is a bad idea. Looking at the current scenario, I'm not saying generically, but current scenario, most of the courses being offered as MBA in digital marketing are from universities which are not well known, through platforms which are cashing in on the edutech boom, and hence the kind of learning and the kind of value that you will have in the certificate is going to be questionable. Go for a course that has good structure, that has good content, and like Subodha said, you must know fundamentals of digital marketing, fundamentals of marketing, to do anything in digital marketing. If you do not have a grounding in marketing, you will not be able to do well in digital also. So have that grounding, and look for courses which have value. Of course, Dr. Bajpayee has already shared, he'll share whatever he has designed. At present, what I thought is one of the better programs was at MICA, and I have responded in the question and answer also. Yeah, that's a little bit from me, and we can go back to Bimal.
Yeah, so if I can just interject at this point, right? So, Ms. Nisha, since you brought up that, so one of the questions that I think would be uppermost in in the mind of students who are possibly contemplating a career in digital marketing is, are there any prerequisites or any basic technical skills that are required for starting to, understand digital marketing? Maybe for someone who is either from an engineering background or a management background, are there any
See, the
specific
digital,
skills?
Bimal, lovely question, lovely question. I will say that digital or non-digital is only a method. It's a mechanism. It's a platform,
Right.
which Shubhoda also had very clearly said. The fundamental is still marketing. The fundamental is still customer service. The fundamental is still product design. The fundamental is still all those little things like HR, finance, whatever else there is. This little icing on the cake of the knowledge of the digital platform, which is something that makes the world very small. Suddenly, there is death of distance. You are now connected to anybody and everybody in the whole planet. You can service anybody from anywhere. That's the power of the digital world. And that is what is something that should be appreciated before you get into this space. You have to understand that, and this is for all those students who are, some of them are already working in some digital company and finding a struggle and are unable to break the glass ceiling, as they say. How do you go beyond that? You go beyond that because you have to be innovative. You've got to run a new race every morning. And that happens. And this is something that both these gentlemen with me here will corroborate, that apart from all the skills that you have, there has to be an attitude. And that attitude is called entrepreneurial attitude. If you have that entrepreneurial attitude, you'll be very successful in the space of e-business, in the space of digital marketing, because this is not a run-of-the-mill kind of job that people will do in this space. This is a very highly competitive place. And as Surya just mentioned, if you manage to make a slip, you'll end up in the doghouse. But if you manage to make the right moves, you'll be shining stars all the way. So just a word of caution, choose your calling rightly, choose where you want to study, evaluate the courses that are being taught, and actually add value to your knowledge rather than just get a degree for a job. Shubho, do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, just to make the context clear, I have sent a small career diagram on the digital to your colleague. If you can post it on, right now, share it on the screen, then all the students will be able to understand. So by the time the pictures come, let me start with, without wasting time. The most important vertical is the research vertical. So you can be a research analyst. This one, the pay is very, very high, but also it comes with research analyst must understand many things of digital. So I have actually what we call right now, it's called a T market here, T. So there's a straight line and there are a lot of T. You can be one length or depth of the business can be one of the vertical, which Surya just now said. If you come from a creative, there's a verticals on creative. If you want to get into, if you're good into designing, you can get into a UX UI format. So salaries are very, very high. If you're good in terms of writing, there's a risky thing because AI is taking mostly 80% of the jobs. In my company, I have to remove a few people. Only one people is only care for content, because right now my company content is written by artificial intelligence, and they write as good as human being with a fraction of a second, with a absolute SEO enabled content. So you don't need an SEO expert. The analyst can also do a research. If you just say that Lonavala, I need to go to Karjat, it will also tell you within 45 minutes you can also come from Pune to Karjat. So that is the amount of intelligence and content we are making right now. So so that is one part, content. Next is a search part, which Surya just now said in terms of off page, on page. But another disaster, I was also in the image. I don't know, it's taking time, but once it comes, you will see. I have also spotted with red dot the jobs where are at threat, jobs which will go in the next 2 to 3 years time. Now, the SEO people, the SEO, lots of people do SEO, local, I'm not talking about, little bit here and there. The SEO job is also going because AI is making far more better SEO than a human being, number one. Next is a mobility business. Mobility is business going to stay, where entire businesses are based on mobile, VAS, SMS, voice, IVR, and so on and so forth. Only mobility, because I also come from mobility business. Next is the email business. Email business is also very, very large. Email is going to stay because email is one of the most important criteria for digital marketers, automation. Here, this is the graph. If you can zoom, you can see there is research, there is business, there is content, there is search, there is design on terms of the UX UI, there is mobility, there is email, there's data analytics, there's a video. All the red dots are places where AI has started taking over. So all the places AI will replace human being. Now, please don't understand for the younger people. So this is also a threat. Also, you need to certain jobs which AI cannot do. AI cannot dream. AI cannot make it much creative. AI cannot make it very, very personalized. So that is where AI cannot also make a strategy. AI will give you options in terms of analytics, but what to choose and what not to choose will come out of your experience. So that these are the jobs AI may not be able to do it. Next is campaign, social media, entire campaign management are done by AI right now. So we have software like programmatic buying, the software which all the top agencies are using, WPP, Redivision, all will be of the world. So media buying is also taken by the AI, bought by the AI, campaign running, A/B testing happening. In fact, most of my campaign are run on artificial software. Now I'll tell you the price. A normal content person, a head content coming from English medium, English degree with a scholar in English or a PhD, that person will used to charge me around 1.2 lakhs rupees a month, whereas my AI software gives me 100 times of the output at the cost of just 5,000 rupees per month. Subscription is 5,000, which is 60,000 rupees. I can actually get 200 content person doing this much more brilliant job. Now, all these red dots are the problem. These are the places that already AI has come. Now the question is that, will all the people right now hearing this, all of you will be around 2022. When will this reality will hit you is a question. You may think that in the next 2 years, I'm in campus, AI will come, we will see to it, it's quite far. It is actually not far. It has already come and it is actually taking job randomly. Another brilliant thing has happened. There are lots of people who make money making websites, 20,000 rupees website, 10,000 rupees website. Now all the open platform has come. You don't need to make any website. It's just drag and a drop, like the way you do Canva. Another amazing thing has happened during the post-COVID. Many OTT platforms came. Lots of people are looking for OTT. Now, understand one thing. Any job which has a complexity and it takes more time, AI will come and it will make it faster. So a lot of OTT platforms, startups have come. You don't need to have any of OTT. You need to don't understand anything of OTT. You just drag, drop, create the open platform and you can run the OTT. You can pay as a subscription. Everything is going to move as subscriptions. Another problem with soft digital future is that never ever try to be a middleman. You will lose your job. If you are a content creator, if you are making content, if the job is originating from you, it is an original, it is going to stay. Now, tools, loads of tools like Pavel, like AI copy, like Grammarly, like headline analyzer, everything. Even AI software is also making content for what should be the headline, what should be the post description of an Instagram, what hashtag will you use, what hashtag is trending, what are the power, everything are done by the software. So, but this thing will never have magic. You need to also you should have also have a capability to run AI software. You should know how to do it. That's the reason many people have an iPhone, but most people majorly use call button, disconnect button, and a WhatsApp. They don't understand many things on phone. So that's also a problem. India, I will correct, sir, by only one data which I read 2 days back, on which my industry reports are coming. 2.3 million is the job opportunity which was in 2020, and right now we are in 2022. 2.3 million job opportunities are there for digital. We don't have people, and that is the reason there's going to be a rise of educational institution who are going to teach. But please believe me, you will not able to survive in any digital. You can be a great guy in Instagram, you can do lots of YouTube, you can be a hero in your home or your para or your community. But believe me, you will not able to solve business problem. Business problem, to understand business problem, you need to first be a great marketer. You need to understand the basic fundamental of marketing. Otherwise, digital is just a platform. You will not able to do much. So that's my beat.
Great insights, and the wonderful chart that was made by Shubho. I'm sure it has given a lot of scare to some people, but let me assuage those fears. While these jobs will get taken away, believe me, man is a very resilient and resourceful animal. He will find other things to do. He will find creative things to do. He will find more cerebral activity to perform. And all the non-cerebral stuff which only relies on memory may be shifted to AI. AI is nothing but a huge memory bank. And let me share this. I think I have told Surya this. My project in my engineering degree was on robotics. And it was a robotic arm for a foundry application, which used 8085 microprocessor, which was a novelty during those days. Today, these arms come like a dime a dozen anywhere that you want. A colleague of mine, who is currently the head of Department of Electrical Engineering at IISc Bangalore, goes by the name of P.S. Suvaya Shastri, did his work in 1980-81 on artificial intelligence. He created those programs which would play chess with, computer would play chess with you. Today, it's not only chess, you can play cricket with the computer. So things are moving so rapidly, but have the jobs gone away? No. Have LIC was one of those corporations which had a huge nationwide strike because somebody said, we will put all the data into computers. That's all it was said. The LIC since then has not only grown in numbers, it has grown in value, it has grown in volume, it has become such a huge thing that, and you noticed in the last week, it was their IPO was oversubscribed on the very first day. Not a single employee was retrenched. What happened was business increased. So we are 1.5 billion people sitting on business volumes which are 100th of what they should be. The American average business per capita is so much higher than us. So we will all contribute to this country becoming yet another China and then yet another America in the next few years. And well, I don't know if I'll live to see that, but I'm sure some of these youngsters will participate in that movement. So this is an opportunity, and like both Surya Mishra and Shubho have said, choose wisely, learn appropriately, and work in the environment that makes the most of your skills. Not everybody will be at the same platform. It's a fact of life. All of us who are born on the same day end up in different situations by the time we are dead. So that is something which is a natural distribution of human talent and human experiences. But never mind all that AI, ML, Industry 4.0, 5.0, 6.0. Somebody was the other day from Copenhagen was telling me that we've already started working on, you guys are still doing 5G tests, and we are already trying to implement 6G in telecom space. So all these things will happen. But will they take away the very fact that you and I are able to think? Will they take away the very fact that you and I are able to breathe? We will drink, eat, we will do all those things which human beings will do. And we will only make our lives better and better with these technologies, with these tools and support systems, which will enable us. But like Shubho just said, strategy, decision making, and conceptualizing is something that we will not give to these machines. So,
Absolutely.
Surya, any more comments that you have in mind? Because we've got the last 10 minutes now, and I can
Yeah.
see you squirming and itching to come hard hitting at both of us.
No,
So,
absolutely not. I just have 2 points to discuss quickly. Uh, One is something that I thought I'll cover in the first go itself, but I could not. A career in digital marketing versus a career in something else does not mean that you do not learn digital marketing. If you are a management professional, digital marketing is a skill that is absolutely needed. Whether you do finance, whether you do consulting, whether you do HR, whether you do marketing, whether you do operations, whether you do digital marketing. Skills in digital marketing are essential for personal brand building. So even if you are not going to have a career in digital marketing skills are essential keys to success today. If you are a consultant, digital marketing is your bread and butter because that's what will get you further business. If you're a finance guy, you might think that financial jugglery is what is going to get you a next job, but you'll be surprised that a post on LinkedIn is what will get you your next job. So personal brand building is a key skill which digital marketing affords you. So irrespective of whether you are considering a career in digital marketing, definitely want to do that. Second point is the topic also includes the term e-business. Uh, E-businesses is a little bit of a confusing term because it also encompasses e-commerce. But typically when you talk about e-business is an internet enabled business. So it might be e-commerce, it might not be e-commerce. You might not be delivering something physically to your customer's location like an Amazon or a Flipkart or a seller on Amazon or Flipkart. But at the same time, e-businesses itself is enabled through the internet. Any business today is actually an e-business. If you do not have a presence on Google My Business or Google Map, or you do not have a website, you can still operate without a website with a Facebook page and Instagram shop, and you can do all of that. But if you do not have a presence online, if you are a company which wants to be long term, then you have to be an e-business. You have to have some internet play in place. Otherwise, you'll become a mom and pop store, just like the convenience store, grocery store from where you buy your top up grocery. You don't even buy your monthly grocery from there anymore. Monthly grocery you buy from maybe Big Basket, you maybe go to a big bazaar or a departmental store. So consumer behavior has changed. So every business today is an e-business. So please keep in mind that these skills are irrespective of what career decision you took. So if you're an operations guy, you still need digital marketing skills in your skill set to succeed long term. You still need personal branding to succeed long term. The world has fundamentally changed. The resumes are becoming more redundant as time goes by. LinkedIn profiles, and we are probably going to see much more change there, where a blockchain application of your credentials is going to be there and which will talk about everything that you have done in life, verified by peers and other people. It is not that I can claim or fake my credentials anymore. So probably 10 years down the line, you will not have to show your resume. You just have to share your blockchain ID and everything is there and your recruitment happens from there. So start gearing up for that change, start preparing for that change, start building your career accordingly. So those are the 2 points that I wanted to consider. We can probably throw the
excellent point made Surya about developing your own brand. And let me just give you a little bit of an insight into how I'm planning to admit students into the course is for them to share their LinkedIn profile in the beginning. Because if somebody hasn't made his LinkedIn profile by the time he has graduated, chances are he's not going to do very well in the corporate world.
True, true.
So, Bimal, on back to you.
Yes, yes. So, Mr. Mishra, I have one question, based on what you were talking about, right? So you talk about personal branding, you talk about the need to, and the direction in which things are moving, where your entire life history, whatever you've achieved in life, whatever you've done, would be, visible without needing, a resume for that. Would this also lead to any privacy concerns? Would there be certain aspects of, I mean, it's a question that probably would come in naturally, isn't it? Right. So are there certain aspects that you would not want to make public?
Yes, you can always have that, and that is taken care of in the current version of the implementation that we have seen, where you can choose what information you want to show, but the information has to be validated information. So if I claim, for example, that I went and did an MBA in Harvard, I can do that on my LinkedIn, no questions asked, right? And somebody has to then point out which batch and what, and I'll be caught. I did my MBA from IIM Lucknow. So my batchmates are there, you can ask them, you can verify. So the validation step is something which is manually done away from the entire process. But implementations are there which can validate instantly. Pre-validation is there, and I cannot claim something which I have not done, but I can choose what information I want to show and what information I do not want to show. Privacy concerns are there elsewhere also, but typically the more transparency you have, the more dilemma of privacy you will have. That is how things work out. So yes, those will be there.
Yeah, they would, won't they? So, right.
Surya has been furiously answering all the queries and questions people have been raising, and I personally thank him for that. And he's actually engaged with a few students on the panel who want to really be consulted. So I'm sure they'll be able to offline connect with any one of us for any queries that you may have. And yes, we'll be always glad to help the younger generation. But Surya is still the younger generation.
I'll just, with your permission, Mr. Master and Dr. Bajpayee, put up this question which I'm unable to answer to Subodha. How digital marketing is changing the food packaging sector? I can think of a couple of pointers, but I'm sure Subodha will be able to answer this much better.
Food packaging.
Yes.
Food packaging industry, yes.
How digital is changing the food packaging industry in terms of what? Distribution, sales, advertising. I mean, in what sector you want me to respond?
No, the question is how digital marketing is changing food packaging sector. So if you think it is changing in all these channels, then probably
food packaging is now something that has pervaded into almost everything. You're getting packaged food of all variety. Short of cooked dal and rice, you're getting everything in packaged form. And how is the or the digital world impacting this is probably the question that is being asked.
Okay. Let me answer. Let me simplify this. Whether it's a food packaging, or it is a food on Zomato, or it is a food on Swiggy, or maybe a local guy selling some specific chana poda in Bhubaneswar. Whatever is the food, the basic problem is going to be one, discovery. Will you get found when people search for chana poda? Will you get found for a special Indorian food? Will you get found for a basic lassi in some Ahmedabad place? Will you get found a biryani found in specific corner in a Hyderabad on the main street? So the question is discovery. If you're digitally discovered easily, whatever business you are in, be it food, be it manufacturing, be it superfood, fast food, organic food, you will always make more business. The question is discovery, because along with you, if you're only focusing on your packaged food or whatever, urad dal or masala or whatever recipe or maybe a cereal you're selling, the question is that there are going to be 1,000 brands. Please understand one thing. If you go to any mall, by the way, Food Bazaar has been sold It is right now bought by Reliance. I think last week, I don't know what is happening in other part of the country. In Bombay, Food Bazaar has closed down, and all the Food Bazaar has been changed to Reliance store. So if you go to Reliance store or whatever Food Bazaar, wherever it is there, if you go, you will find 500, soap, or 500 masala, or 500 rose milk, or whatever. So the question is that which one you pick up based on the brand name or things which you have seen in the past. So the question is that it is not about food or specific, it's all about discovery. If you are discovered faster than your competitor, you win. If you are not discovered, you have a great product, no one buys you. If you have a great product, but your distribution is weak, you are not available on online, people don't buy you. So the question is discovery. Discovery comes fast, be it online, be it offline. I see a brand on Instagram, but when I go for a store, it is not available. If I go for Amazon, it's not there. It's gone Zomato or whatever, it's not there. Then there's no point. There's no great makings that you are still in a business. The biggest question of human being, be it on LinkedIn, be it on store, it is one, because we are also product. If you go to LinkedIn and type a digital marketeer, if you're not on the 500 list, you're out of the business. If you are on a store and the great cereal or whatever you're making, if you're not found on Instagram or Google, the beauty is that, can Google spiders spot you? That's the question. If the question is not found, if you're not found, how great scholar you are, you will never get picked up. The question is discovery. I think, how do you get discovered? But this is the problem. The solution is, you get discovered by lots of things which you put across the ecosystem, by which Google Spider will be able to hunt you faster. You write articles on food, you write blogs on food, you make posts on food, you make a website on food, whatever food you are making. You can talk about how the food business has changed people's life. So if you may talk stories and inform information, which Google's picked up, then even if you are inferior than your competitor, you get spotted. The question is discovery and never individual product. Human beings are also product. There is another simple example. I've been speaking in 60 business schools, right? I have never applied in any business school. Right now, I'm speaking to you guys in front of you. I never applied. It is, we know each other, which means I got discovered. Now imagine Anil sir and Surya Mishra knew me 6 years back. Now, do I knock their door every day to remind them I am into digital? So what is happening, the connect between me and sir is, my content is constantly reminding him that I exist. So it is again discovery. So whenever you think of something else, he will remember Surya Mishra or XYZ. These are the people who are into technology brand. So discover is the issue, because human brain cannot remember more than 3 words in any individual category, or in any, if I ask you what brands of toothpaste you use, after fumbling Sensodyne and Colgate, you will actually struggle after 4 or 5 words. Human brain cannot remember more than 3 words in any category. So this is the problem of human brain. If you really want to suppress, you have to bypass this. You should stand number 1 in the first 3. If you're not there, you're nowhere. So that's the thing.
Right.
Very well put. Very well put. I was told by somebody that every human brain has almost the same capacity. The white matter can store 1 million facts, but it is the recall that is the tricky part. Some people can recall much more than others, and that's what you're talking about. Absolutely.
Discover.
Thank you, Shubho. Surya has had to leave because of having to attend another meeting.
Yes, thank
so
you,
Bimal will hand it back to you. It's 3 minutes past the 6 p.m. mark.
I invite all my students or whoever is right now here. You can search me on LinkedIn. You will be able to search me in a fraction of a second. And you can send your question. Many a question I couldn't answer. I'm happy to help. I'm also starting a new community platform. It's called Upgrade Version. Upgrade your version. How do you upgrade your version? It's coming up hopefully the next 15 days time. So if I will want to answer, I'm also launching my own digital academy where all these people who are studying, who have money issue, who cannot afford too much of expenditure, they can also do short time courses, small courses to upgrade themselves. So happy to answer. So if any question, anything, you can ask me on LinkedIn, I will respond.
Right. So, so that pretty much brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you once again, Mr. Shubho,
Thank you.
Dr. Anil, and of course, Mr. Surya, for a very illuminating session. I'm sure it has been of immense value to our students. Right. So, thank you once again for taking time out from your schedule and addressing our students.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, guys, that's all that we have for today.
Thank you, Shubho.
Thank you for joining us, and see you once again in the next exciting edition of the Management Masterclass. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.